Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's a solemn honour to rise in this debate to pay tribute to Her late Majesty the Queen, both personally and on behalf of my constituents in Hertford and Stortford. And it's humbling to follow so many very wonderful and fine tributes that we've heard throughout the day. The King himself, in his moving address, made reference to the speech many others in this chamber have mentioned, where his mother, the late Queen, made on her 21st birthday a declaration that her whole life, whether it be long or short, be devoted to our service. We know now that her life was long and that for every day of her 70-year reign, she magnificently honoured that solemn vow. In that same speech, she also said, "I am thinking especially today of all the young men and women who were born about the same time as myself and have grown up like me in the terrible and glorious years of the Second World War." And it is also this, alongside her vow of devotion to duty, which resonates with me today. Perhaps it's because she was speaking about those like my own parents, now themselves in their 90s and children of the East End and of the Blitz. And I'm struck more than ever that Her late Majesty, both as a person and as a monarch, represents a link between our generations. She's a tangible human link to our nation's past, its struggles, but most of all to its finest hour. And she's also a link to our own individual pasts, our personal and our family's histories, and we've heard many of those stories here today. Her ability to evoke the spirit of what we rightly call the greatest generation gave us what, in my view, was the finest speech of the COVID crisis. She said that she hoped those who come after us will say that the Britons of this generation were as strong as any. And of course, she said we will meet again. Her late Majesty personified that link with our past and with the greatest generation. We shall not see her like again. Arthur Balfour was Prime Minister in 1901 and addressed this chamber on the death of Queen Victoria. He said then that the end of a great epoch has come upon us. With the passing of our Queen, the end of a great historical epoch has indeed passed. But we are all privileged to have lived at least some of our lives in the great Second Elizabethan age. We mourn her, but we cherish her memory and her lifetime of service. God bless Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, and God save the King.
Yeah.